I had the idea recently to do a project. Actually, I had the idea a long time ago. I finally just convinced my brother to do it with me, but to do a remake of the John Coltrane, Johnny Hartman ballads record. And being I'm trilingual, I speak French and Spanish, and I love Romance languages, and I thought it'd be nice to call this record Romance Language, because really music is the ultimate romance language. And in approaching this record, I knew a few things, one of which is that, you know, this is almost sacred. You know, this music is, it's on everybody's, you know, desert island list. It's not something that you can just approach and say, I think I'll just do a cover of this record. It has to be, in a sense, a tribute, something that's authentic. I also knew that nowadays you can't put out a project and call it a complete CD with 6 songs. You know, back in the day, you know, you could do 6 songs, and they were happy to have 6 songs. But so we did. I decided to juxtapose against these timeless traditional songs what I consider to be songs from this new dispensation that had impacted me, emotionally on the same level. And it took a bit of courage because, again, you know, someone would say, well, how are you going to record a Brandy song along next side, you know, they say it's wonderful, you know. But again, from where I sit as the interpreter of the melody, that song profoundly impacted me, you know. And so I was able to just kind of just put it out there. And that project features my brother Kevin, who just for all those years, and when I would hear Johnny Hartman, I said, man, my brother Kevin has that same kind of pure tone in his voice. It's a big, rich baritone, but he has the range, so he can go way up and sing high tenor. And he does these crazy. He was very much influenced by Al Jarreau and Bobby McFerrin and the great improvisers, and he's just so creative. You know, you can go different places with the music. So lastly, I'll say that it was important to me to realize that I have a different demographic. I have a younger demographic, in essence, that probably, you know, many of them have never heard that record. Many of them would not be exposed to that music, and I think it's important for us to serve that role too, to bring this music in our own way to our neighborhood, as it were. You know, whereas Kurt Elling is doing this, he does the same thing. He did that same record, and he was able to bring to his neighborhood and expose them to this awesome music that we, you know, almost worship. So all of that being said, Romance Language is kind of consummation, in a sense, of my love for and respect for John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman. The fact that John Coltrane sings so beautifully on this record, you know, he in essence was saying, you know, yeah, I have all this amazing technique, but in my heart of hearts, I really always wanted to be Johnny Hodges, you know. So, you know, so we connect at that point. We both started out in church, you know. I started, Amazing Grace was the first song I ever learned, growing up in the home of a pastor. So those are the things that I put into Romance Language. Marketing a project like Romance Language is actually not as hard as you think, because I think people already know, people who know my music know, I'm going to come from a spiritual point of view. As a Christian, they know the gospel according to jazz projects I've done. They know that I'm unabashedly in love with Jesus, and I don't mind telling anybody that. And I think you can do that in a context that respects other people's faith traditions and say, well, this is who I am. That, combined with the fact that they know that I love traditional jazz, they know that this is where I cut my teeth, you know, with Arnett Cobb and Houston, and just hanging out playing tunes, you know, at little smoky clubs, and so those things, you know, I'm able to kind of channel into a marketing campaign that says this is not, you know, something that's prefab. You know, this is in the cracks. This is kind of for folks who are not too rigid in their appreciation for good music. You know, it's like if it speaks to me, I love it. If it doesn't speak to me, I'll move on. Those people will get it, and And we're able as well to say, we're releasing the record on Valentine's Day, and I'm somebody who's been in love with one woman for 38 years, you know, and, you know, I can talk a little bit about romance, the ups and the downs. And so my brother and I are both happily married, so we can kind of, you know, thank God, we can deliver an authentic message of romance and love to people who need that. And again, there are people who will say right away, well, I don't like that. I mean, I don't want to hear that from him or whatever. That's not the audience we're going for. You know, we want to reach people who are open to have affirmed and you know, undergirded, you know, that wonderful passion that two people can have for each other, and that it just what am I trying to say? It sort of it replicates itself. It touches other people when it's authentic.